Hello and welcome to your Salem 26DBUD. Coming to the front here, you have a light, just in case you do need to hook up at night. You have your retract and extend. If your jack does electrically go out, you are able to manually override it. If you pull this up, there will be a place for a socket beneath this. You have both propane tanks. If you turn both of them on, it'll read through one, and then if one empties out, it'll automatically switch to the other. Coming down here, this is going to be your battery disconnect. Once that is disconnected, that cuts all power to your camper. I'd recommend after about 3 to 4 days, disconnecting the negative end off of your battery, which would be right here, because there's a carbon monoxide detector inside that's always drawing power, even if it's disconnected down here. So that it has a little green light on it that never turns off, and that will kill your battery. So that's why I recommend after about 3 to 4 days, make sure you disconnect the negative end of your battery so it doesn't die out. Coming inside of here, this is going to be for your lugs. Move into the back here. You're gonna have your black tank and your 2 gray tanks. I would recommend pulling the black tank first, and then you would also have a black tank flush, which I'm gonna get into. I do the black tank, flush, and then use your gray tanks, because this is gonna be the cleanest water out of the 2. And I would recommend having the gray tank last, because you don't want your hands all over the cruddy water. Come in here, if you have a TV outside, you have your cable satellite. City water connection. If you go to a campground, you would plug your hose into here, and that'll feed water through your systems. This is the black tank flush. So if you put your pressurized hose into this turns on a sprinkler inside of the black tank to help get toilet paper and other crud off. That's how I would recommend doing the black tank first, your black tank flush, and then going to your gray tanks. In the back here, you have a water heater. This is an anode rod. If you put this inside here, it is a 1 1/16 socket to tighten down. What this does is this has the hard water eat at this instead of your tank. So when you go inside, when you tighten this down, you go inside, turn on the hot side of your faucet. It'll sputter, and then eventually you'll have a steady flow of water coming out. All that sputtering is the air getting pushed out of this tank. And that after a while, that hard water, let's say you're at a somewhat dirty campground, that water will eat at this and deteriorate this. Let's say you're all done, the water does get stagnant, so you want to empty it out. Go ahead, let the pressure release. Take your socket, pull this out, water will start flowing. And then you pull this to get the rest out. It'll start flowing even more. This is backup camera ready. So if you did purchase a backup camera, that'll pop off with 4 screws, and then your backup camera will go right in there. Coming over to the coming down here, this will help your automatic stabilizer so you can extend and retract them. Your low point drains are also underneath here. .110 outlets. Moving on to your fresh tank. This is just a gravity fill, so you'll fill it up with a hose. This is when you want to take water with you. So if you're going out into the middle of nowhere and you need to fill it up to take water, go ahead, fill this up, and then to access this water, turn on your water pump, and that'll help put it through your systems. Let's say you're done with your trip, so leftover water, fresh tank drain. You go behind here, and it's that little white part. Let's see, right in there. So it's the same thing. Go ahead, pull it out, and that water will empty. Another thing for a TV. This is going to be a furnace exhaust. So if there's any little kids or anyone in the area that does not know what this is, feel free to tell them that this gets very hot and it will burn you. This is for an outside hose. You do have a curly hose that will hook up to this and that can spray water. This is going to be your little outdoor kitchen section. You have your fridge and then your griddle. This is what connects from your griddle into your gas. So that's your LP quick connect. So that feeds your gas into your griddle for it to light. The top right, there's a little black tab. If you pull that open, and on the top right there, you'll see a little black tab. Go ahead and pull that off, and that is going to be a manual override just in case your awning ever does electrically go out. You have your front stabilizer jacks right here. Here's that curly hose I was talking about. For your stairs, make sure your door is all the way open before you take these out or put them back in. Because otherwise it'll clip right in here and end up scraping this. So when you get it, your stairs will be like this. Go ahead, pull this, and you'd grab that handle. And now it'll be on the floor. Make sure this is completely flush, because otherwise it'll rip this and then your rubber seal off of your door. Coming inside here, this is going to be your slide out. This is going to be your awning. Once this is fully out, you'll hear like it'll sound like a gear grinding, but it's just meaning it's fully out. There you go. Coming over here, you have your lights. This is gonna be your awning. This is gonna be your inside light bar. And then for the main switches, it's just gonna be this dimmer. Turn off, turn on, and if you tap and hold, they'll dim. Tap and hold and they'll brighten. So like I said, if you do fill up that fresh tank outside, you click this button here for the water pump, and that'll push the water through your systems. And then for your water heater, when there's no more sputtering coming out the hot side and all the air is pushed out, go ahead and click that button and that'll start warming up the water. Coming up here, you have your reader, battery, fresh tank, black tank, and gray tank. Everything is left here. I would recommend, if you do go to a full hookup, to make sure your black tank, keep it closed and fill it up to about 2/3 full before you do empty it, because the smells will arise and no one likes that. Coming over to your keys here, your purple are going to be for your main doors, and these silver ones, gray ones, are going to be for your baggage doors. Coming over to your stove. For your stove, go ahead and turn it on, and then you push, turn the get gas going, and you go ahead and click to the right. You never want to turn to the left because this will just break off. Right is the way to ignite. I would recommend lighting all three of these before you do light the oven, just to purge all the gas through the systems, because this takes a little bit longer to light. How you do it is you turn to the pilot symbol. You'll see a little flame ignite in the back of here, and then you go ahead and turn to your desired temperature. For your fridge, 1 is cold, 5 is gonna be the coldest. It's gonna be right on top. For your freezer, it's gonna be right in the back. For AC, heat, and fan, it's all gonna be right here. Starts up with fan, low, high, and then cool, high, low, and auto, and then heat and off. This is how you raise the temperature, this is how you lower the temperature. Your toilet is going to be a foot flush. You need toilet solution and RV grade toilet paper. The solution will help break down solids and smells, and then that toilet paper will help break down easier so it doesn't clog your black tank and or your sewer systems. Coming over to your sound bar, go ahead and click to turn on. It should say welcome.
Park tax. Anyway, coming up after the break, we've got a
So
grunge band.
zone 1 is gonna be inside. Zone 2 is gonna be outside. You can turn both of them off. Mode, you can turn between your Bluetooth, your TV, and aux. Radio, all you gotta do, click to turn back off. For your space heater, you can choose your time. You can go all the way up to 9 hours. This is gonna be your low and high. This is gonna be rock color, and this is going to be your flame color. And then off. This down here, this is that carbon monoxide detector. This green light will always stay on as a safety feature because this is always going to be running. So when you do that battery disconnect, this will not turn off. So I would recommend taking the negative end off of your battery. That'll completely kill this, because this little green light will kill that battery if you do not disconnect the negative end. For your AC on top here, when you do have the AC going, when these are open, it's just going to be a dump straight out the bottom. Go ahead and close that. Then they'll start pushing air through all the vents in the ceiling.